Good evening everyone, this is Rajiv Kohli and welcome back to our channel The Teacher, and today I am going to show you that how to create this 3D box inside box animation in PowerPoint 2016. As you can see that there are 3 boxes, one inside another, and they are opening and closing back. So let's get started and see how to create this animation. So first of all, let me show you the third slide, and if I see the slideshow, you can notice that you will not see that particular slide, even it is repeating the animation. As you can see that even it is in the loop, but you are not seeing the third slide in the slideshow. That's because this slide is hidden. And how you can hide a slide? Just right click on the thumbnail view and choose hide slide, and if you want to show it back again, then again right click on the slide and choose hide slide again. As you can see that the button is pressed now, and here is a cross over the third number. That means this slide is hidden now. So I am showing you this slide, third one. So here on the third slide you can see the middle box. Let me duplicate this first slide and show you that if I delete the top one, then you will see the middle box, the magenta one, and there is another box inside this one. If I delete this one, you can see that there is another box, that is green one. So let me delete this one, and I would like to show you that how I draw this 3D box. I am not good at drawing, but I can see things and can replicate them by looking at them. So the easiest way will be if you add a new slide. Let me open a new presentation. Click on File, New, Blank Presentation. So here on this slide, go to the layout, choose blank, and what I am going to tell you that from the View tab, you can turn on the guides, and when you turn on the guides for the first time, you will see 2 lines, one vertical and one horizontal, in the middle and the center of the slide. As you can see in the ruler, you can turn on ruler from the View tab as well. You can see that this vertical guide is exactly pointed to 0, and same is with the horizontal line. And you can add your own guides by right clicking on the empty area of your slide and point to grid and guides, and then you can add vertical or horizontal guide as you like. So here I clicked on add vertical guide, and then I can position it anywhere as I like, and same way you can add horizontal guides. The easiest way to add new guide is to just right click on an predefined guide and choose add vertical guide or add horizontal guide instead of right clicking on an empty area, because that way you have to point to the grid and guides and then click add horizontal or add vertical guide. That is a little bit lengthy procedure. Instead of that, you can directly right click on any guide and then add another guide as you like. So let me close this one. Let's get back to our presentation, and let me move this box sideways. And the easiest way is to draw this 3D box is to use the freeform shape. You can take even a star just like that. You can draw it just right here, and then you can draw further shapes, like you can draw a rectangle here, and then later from the Format tab you can go to Edit Shapes and then click Edit Points, and then you can adjust the sizes. The guides will help you to exactly point the shapes so they look perfect, just like that. So I have drawn these boxes using the freeform shape, and I love that shape because you can draw anything using this shape, just like that. I hope you got my point. So let's get started with the animation. So here we have this. I will show you animation on just one box, and you can repeat the procedure to animate further boxes, as many as you like. So first of all, let me duplicate this slide and open the animation pan and delete all these animations. Okay, I will animate this one. So first of all, I select the top part, and let me tell you one more thing, that from the home tab, click the select drop down button and then open the selection pan. And you can also open the selection pan from the format tab if you have selected any shape, because format tab will only be available if you have selected any shape. If you click on an empty area of your slide, then you can see that format tab will get invisible. So as soon as you will select a shape, you will see the format tab, and from the format tab you can also open the selection pan. And as you can see that I have named everything on my slide. All the objects has been renamed, because when you insert a shape or anything in your presentation, then it get a default name. So you can change the name through the selection pan. Just select the object, then click on the name and then type a name as you like. And the selection pan is very helpful. You can see my video on the selection pan, and you will learn a lot of things that can be done through selection pan, and it helps you when you have multiple objects on your presentation. It makes it easier to manage multiple objects on your slide. So first of all, I will select the top one. As you can see that there are many more objects on the slide, but you will not be able to see them because they are hidden behind these objects, and that can be done through bring forward and send backward commands that I will tell you later on. So first of all, I am going to animate the top part, and for that go to the animation tab, click add animation drop down button and go to more motion paths, and here I am going to apply let's say diagonal upright. Adjust the path length. I would like to move this top part just right here. Okay, I want to play this animation with previous, with a duration of around half a second. And now what I am going to do is, I want all these parts to move to the same direction with the same length, so everything moves smoothly. And for that I will copy this animation on the rest of the parts. And for that, what I can do, I can click on animation painter, first selecting the top part where I have already applied the animation, and then click on animation painter once, and then click on the another part, and that will duplicate the animation on that part. Now as you can see that medium south is selected, and now I click on the animation painter and then I click on this part, and that will get animated as well, medium west. So now I'm going to hide medium west and medium south so I can see the remaining parts. Now I would like to animate this one, so I select the top part first, click on the animation painter and then click on the medium north, and same going to apply the same effect on the medium east. See, that is how the selection pan is useful. You can easily hide and unhide objects just by clicking on this I button. Okay, now what I am going to do, I want to delete this green one. Okay, let me show you the slideshow, and I am going to hide these slides because I don't want to see them in the slideshow. So just right click on the thumbnail view and just click on hide, and now we only have this slide, and let's see the slideshow. And all of these part of this box are moving in one shot, and open the animation pan, and here I am going to add a delay, and I would like to play all these animation in 0.25 seconds and would like to add a delay of 0.25 seconds between each part. So for the second one 0.25, for the third one 0.50, and for the fourth one 0.75, and for the fifth one 1 second. Let's see the slideshow. Okay, let me see it again. I think there is a problem. Okay, I want the top part to move first, then the east one. So I take the east one and move it on the second position, and then add a delay. Then I would like to move the east, I would like to move the north first, and then I would like to move the south, and then east, and then finally west. The west is the closing part, this one, and I want this part to close at the end. So let's see the slideshow. Okay, that's fine. So in the second slide, I need the 3D box to remain here where the animation is stopping, and that is a bit difficult thing to do. So as I want this box to get back to its original position, and for that I am not going to use the auto reverse option, because that is not going to help us, and for that I am going to duplicate this slide, and I want this box on the third slide to exactly be on the same position where the animation is stopping on the second slide. Like our 3D boxes will move its entire parts on this position on the slide. On the third position I want this box to be right here where the animation is stopping. So if I just select all of them and then move them manually, and you have to delete all these animations. Let me delete them all. From the third slide, select the first one, hold down the shift key, and then select the last one and hit the delete key. And if I see the slideshow, okay, now I click. As soon as I click on the slide, you can see that it is moving on the third slide, and here you can see a little bit difference between the position, and that is what I was talking about, that I want the box on the third slide to exactly on the same position where on the second slide it is stopping at this point. So it is always be hard for you to manage objects on multiple slides at the same position, and for that what you can do, go to the slideshow and let it move on the third slide. Let me do it that again. That is on the third slide, and as soon as I click on this button, previous and next slide button, that will stop the animation for a second here, and just hit the print screen button from the keyboard. Hit the print screen just once, and now at the third slide go to the home tab and then click the paste button. And as I have multiple monitor setups, you can also see my second monitor, and I am going to crop this one from the format tab. Click on the crop and just crop this part and move it on the top and adjust the size according to the slide size. And now I can duplicate this box just by copying and pasting, and then I can adjust the position just on top of the screenshot, just right here, and then later I can delete this screenshot, and I don't even want these. Okay, so that was the trick to reposition the things on the following slides. As you can see that you can't see a difference between the actual position and moved position. So that was the trick. Let's come to the first slide again, and then let me delete these two slides. I no longer require these. and the same technique has been used for all the boxes. As you can see that the only thing that you need to remember is that the position of each part of the box, and for that you can open the selection pane and you can see that how I have arranged all these objects. Like on top of all is the extra large box, and you can see that that is the extra large top part, and that is the west extra large, and that is the north extra large, south extra large, and east extra large, and same is with these boxes, as you can see. So what you need to remember is how to position these things on the slide. I mean, which one should come first and which one should go back. You can do this by from the format tab. You can use send backward and bring forward commands, or you can even move things on top or back just by holding them from the selection pane and then just drag and drop to move them on top or back as you like. As you can see that this top part is on the back of all the other parts, and you can just drag and drop it just like that to bring it on top or back. So I hope you will find this video informative. Let me know by liking, sharing and commenting on this video, and do subscribe to our channel for more upcoming tutorial videos. Thanks for watching and have a great day.